That can I. At least the whisper goes so. Our last king, whose image even but now appeared to us, was, as you know, by Fortinbras of Norway, thereto pricked on by a most emulate pride, dared to the combat, in which our valiant Hamlet, for so this side of our known world esteemed him, did slay this Fortinbras, who, by a sealed compact, well ratified by law and heraldry, which he stood seized of, to the conqueror, against the which a moiety competent was gauged by our king, which had returned to the inheritance of Fortinbras, had he been vanquisher, as, by the same covenant and carriage of the article designed, his fell to Hamlet. Now, sir, young Fortinbras, of unimproved metal hot and full, hath in the skirts of Norway here and there sharked up a list of lawless resolutes, for food and diet, to some enterprise that hath a stomach in it, which is no other, as it doth well appear unto our state, but to recover of us, by strong hand and terms compulsatory, those foresaid lands so by his father lost. And this, I take it, is the main motive of our preparations, the source of this our watch, and the chief head of this post-haste and rummage in the land. Take a minute and go back through this particular speech by Horatio, and there are a few questions that I would like you to answer. The first, if I want to look at the first 8 lines or so, I would like you to answer the question of why King Hamlet fought Fortinbras. The second question that I would like you to answer is, what were the stakes of the fight? The third question is, why is Fortinbras amassing people? Like, why is he gathering the lawless resolutes? The fourth question that I would like you to answer is, what is Denmark doing in response of young Fortinbras' gathering of those people? After answering those 4 questions, I'd like you to go back through and reread the whole speech again and answer this question. How does Shakespeare characterize King Hamlet through Horatio's speech? Now remember, you want to identify what the characterization is and then examine the language, the literary elements and rhetorical devices Shakespeare uses to do that. You might want to pause to discuss. I'm going to go on with reading this section. I think it be no other, but even so. Well may it sort that this portentous figure comes armed through our watch, so like the king that was and is the question of these wars. A mote it is to trouble the mind's eye. In the most high and palmy state of Rome, a little ere the mightiest Julius fell, the graves stood tenantless, and the sheeted dead did squeak and gibber in the Roman streets, as stars with trains of fire and dews of blood, disasters in the sun. And the moist star, upon whose influence Neptune's empire stands, was sick almost to doomsday with eclipse. And even the like precurse of fierce events, as harbingers preceding still the fates and prologue to the omen coming on, have heaven and earth together demonstrated unto our climatures and countrymen. But soft, behold, lo, where it comes again! I'll cross it, though it blast me. Stay, illusion! If thou hast any sound or use of voice, speak to me. If there be any good thing to be done, that may to thee do ease and grace to me, speak to me. If thou art privy to thy country's fate, which, happily, foreknowing may avoid, oh, speak. Or if thou hast uphoarded in thy life extorted treasure in the womb of earth, for which, they say, you spirits oft walk in death, speak of it. Stay and speak. Stop it, Marcellus. What I'd like you to consider in this particular component of Horatio's speech is why Shakespeare alludes to the death of Julius Caesar in the opening lines. Specifically, what happened right before Julius Caesar was murdered that kind of served as an omen to it. Then after answering that, what I would like you to consider is, what is Shakespeare implying about Hamlet Sr. by including this allusion?